Lagos socialite and owner of House of Farida Body Care, Farida Sobowale, was reportedly prevented from jumping into the lagoon some days ago, as seen in a viral video. According to reports, she attempted to commit suicide on the Third Mainland Bridge, clad in all-black attire, while passers-by quickly came to her rescue. She has since given reasons for her suicide attempt, citing frustrations from her 2 months marriage that failed and many others. Now, what are your thoughts? Is a man really worth dying for? Reports say this is her third marriage. Wow. Is it necessary for her to commit suicide because it's her third marriage? Well, join the conversation and call us on 081 07641679, 09024163440, or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag #YourViewOnTVC. If this was a third attempt, is it necessary? Should she die because of a man? For me, no. Yes.
Obviously.
Point blank, no. Because there are kids, you have so many things to live for. Well, anyway, let me not start from here, because right now I'm being emotional, perhaps. But Tokwe, let's begin with you.
Okay, so for me, I don't think that she's actually dying. She was trying to commit suicide because of the man. I think she was trying to commit suicide because of the shame that will come with the news of her marriage breaking up just a few months after. It's the shame. Many people do things because of shame. You know, I don't want to be seen. I cannot believe. They must not hear. You must not leak it. If this happens, what would they say? Like, how would I be able to step out of my house? It is the shame.
But she was on social media, even afterwards. She was posting and living life like nothing happened.
Yes.
So it is key that you admit that something is wrong before you jump into anyway. Go ahead.
So for me, it's the shame. And I think that, and in addressing that shame has made the idea of I don't want to be embarrassed, and avoiding embarrassment, and avoiding repercussion, avoiding backlash has led many people to commit suicide, led many people to not commit suicide on themselves, commit suicide on another person. You know, that idea of you've gotten pregnant and you're a sister in the Lord, nobody should know. The shame, you do abortion. Or that idea of I cannot be seen, this picture of me must not leak out. People commit, like a lot of things that cause suicide are mainly is shame. And in addressing that is the fact that people will forget. You know, I'm so grateful that she was rescued. She wasn't allowed to go ahead with what her intentions were at the time, which is to kill herself. But I'm grateful she was rescued. I'm hoping that we're able to learn some lessons from her experience about life goes on. The flamboyance, the social media will forget. Very soon, another violence would happen. We will move on to what else is trending. But she could have ended her life and left her children all alone without anybody to nurture them, just because of shame.
I just want to say something that suicide is what causes suicide is not just shame, but prolonged sadness is also part of it. There are so many factors. There are those who believe that they are not achieving what they should at the level that they found themselves, and they commit suicide. So many issues beyond shame. In this case, I think it's beyond the shame factor for me. I see it that way, but Damola wanted to say something. Yeah.
This matter is a very sensitive matter, considering the fact that the woman is not suicidal. So I would try to tread carefully with my words and just highlight the lessons from the story. Women. Marriage is not a do or die affair. As much as I believe that marriage is a beautiful institution, if you're with the right person, it's blissful. But if you don't have it when you want it, you should not kill yourself over it. Then number two, marry for the right reasons. Do not marry because you're getting old. Do not marry because you want to have children, or you want to pepper your friends, or you want to pepper your ex, or show off to family members. Marry because you found a soulmate that you want to do life together with. Somebody that is compatible with you, somebody that have a bigger why to your marriage. Because there will always be challenges in the marriage.
Thank
And
you.
it is the bigger why that would keep you grounded. It is the bigger why that would not let you throw mudslings and, you know, tarnish each other's image online. Just have a bigger reason for getting married. And then number 3, please stop marrying down. Some women marry down. Because you are successful, you think that you can just buy a husband or, you know, take a husband off the streets. Never ever trust the loyalty of a broke man, because you cannot, you cannot tell his true intentions until he really has his own. So I understand the whole, oh, don't judge people and give people a chance here and there, but at the same time, ensure that the person that you want to get married to as a woman is also matching your energy. That's my own on this matter.
If you know your energy,
now.
then you can find who matches your energy. Anyway, let me leave it there again. Toby.
When I first saw the story, the first thing that came to my mind was sympathy. I felt so much pity for the woman. Why did I say so? Our experiences are different. So for some people, when they, a man jilts them, they'll be like, what is there? I beg, man don't finish, okuriti Tony. But for some other people, they're not able to move on as swiftly as some others can, which is a major factor in understanding that we shouldn't downplay the experiences of others, right? So for the woman, I may see that she may probably not have been able to find a headway from the situation, and she thought that the next thing to do was to take her life. What breaks people differ, and we shouldn't downplay that. And the second thing I was also going to say that we should not underestimate the pressure that people go through. So for a child, we can hear a 10-year-old saying, Mom, I'm under a lot of pressure at school. And when the child speaks, the child says, I'm unable to finish my assignment, but that's pressure. For a married woman, the pressure could be getting a meal for the family, but the term pressure is not to be watered down. We all experience pressure based on the phase of life in which we're in, and then the experiences also matter, which will determine the way we pick up ourselves from such situations. And the last thing I was going to say as a startup conversation for this is that you're not Jesus. It was only Jesus that was sent to die.
Our religion differ.
To die for the world. So in a case where we heard that she said she died because of...
She wants to die
because of love. I want to believe that there are other reasons why, like Tokwe said, she may not have been able to move on from it, and maybe the rejection afterwards, the betrayal, the fact that she spent so much, she probably may have been in a form of loan or something of that sort.
No, she's good. She's
okay.
okay. She has money
established.
Right? So those may be other factors in which she may have decided to do, what she did.
From my perspective, if you listen to everything she was saying, I see it as she had expectations. Unfulfilled expectations is what drove her to whatever she did. Because she kept harping on, he promised to make me a mother. He promised. She has been seeing herself as perhaps a woman who wants to have children, have a family, and all of that. And that was where her hope lied, that this man was going to give me everything that I am looking for. And that was why she gave it her all. And here it is, 2 months down the line, the man was giving her a different story. And it's seeming like, oh, I had expectations of you. I gave it my all, decided to single-handedly sponsor this marriage, spending over millions of naira to have that lavish wedding, to say, eventually, my last bus stop is here, where I'll get everything I wanted, the happiness I was looking for, and all of this. And that was not met. And the man started giving her negative energy because we saw there were back and forth between both of them. He even saying that whatever she was doing was just a Nollywood drama and all of that. For someone you loved, you poured out your heart to, that itself could drive you to doing what she did. If you cannot manage, if you do not have the capacity, if you've not developed that mental capacity to be able to manage some of these issues. So sometimes our expectations of our spouses,
Totally.
you know, can drive us to a level of we feeling a certain way. We are expecting our partners to be a certain person, but at the end of the day, this person is acting differently. That is where energy comes. If you do not understand who you are in the first place, you cannot find someone who will reciprocate. Whatever it is, you feel, oh, this is what I need, what I'm lacking, and I expect from the other person. It takes a lot to be able to recognize that in someone else.
You will not marry a wicked person.
Absolutely.
You know, because when you see some of the things that came out on social media after, was really bad. Nobody should say that kind of thing about another person. And you know, when she was saying that marriage is not compulsory, that's when you would see that perspective, because you're supposed to see a kind person.
Doctor, can you hold the thought? Okay. We have John from Adamawa calling. John, good morning. Welcome to the show, and please go ahead with your contribution. Oh, unfortunately, John has gone off the line. Yes, you were talking about kindness.
Yes,
in marriage.
A kind person, a humane person, no matter how we fight, it's not rough fight. You know, it's not a let us scatter everything kind of fight.
Be mature and fight.
There's that level of maturity. This is not a young man. This is a mature
Maturity
man.
is not in age, please.
As in, sometimes you would think that as you get older and you have great
forget
you
it.
will have small sense. You know, but like how can you go out and defame, say private things about someone you're married to?
You
just because
claimed you loved at that
just
time.
because things just have rearranged itself temporarily. You know, so for me, some of the things that the man said were very, very bad. And women, mature women, young women, we need to be taking kindness as a very, very major priority when it comes to picking somebody to marry. Because if somebody is talking down on his ex, saying bad things about his ex, saying bad things about the parents or driver or people around, you should know that if katakata bust, he will say bad things about you as well.
Just hold your thought again, Tokwe. We have Engineer Afolabi on the line calling from Ogun State. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My honorable women in the house.
Good morning.
I don't want to yes. In fact, the topic you are discussing is a kind of topic that is so viral in a way. The way I will look at it is not the way you look at it. But in the real sense of it, marriage itself is an institution for which two persons have to agree. You agree not on money, not on what you have achieved. You have to assess yourself as a human being naked, without clothes at all. You have to understand yourself that you want to enter into this institution in the natural way, not about what material thing that you have possessed or anything. For example, when I got into marriage, I am just 25 years old, and my wife is 23 years.
Wow.
And we enter into the marriage in understanding. The purpose of our marriage was that we want to get married to be sufficient in love, not in money, not in anything. We want to get children. We want to have peace of mind. That should be the purpose of marriage, not to look at somebody who can have money to buy car for me, to have money, or a woman that has acquired a lot of things. No. We have to put it on the natural thing that you love yourself, you want to grow together, you want to end your life within one another, irrespective of what might happen along the line in materialism. So you have to take yourself naturally. That is the problem that people are facing. Some people will say, I met this person, he's the son of the president, he's the highest class. That's the problem that we are facing. You should take marriage as a natural thing, like you see the hen and the cock. They are doing naturally. Do it that way, you will enjoy marriage.
But you know, really, this case, this is a marriage that was less than 3 months, and the man is back with his side chick. It's already in another woman's house.
Now. Wait, calm down. We need to go on a break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Just stay with us. The behind-the-scene conversation we usually have is very interesting, but let's leave that. Remember the conversation we are having, talking about the socialite, legal socialite, who tried to commit suicide because of her marriage, that 2-month-old marriage that broke down. And we're just having that conversation. And you can join the conversation calling us on 081-0764-1679 or 090-241-63440 or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag @YourViewOnTVC. We had a caller who was saying that love was what he and his wife went for. Love, peace of mind, that all this materialism that people are looking out for is what is causing most of this problem. And I was looking at Damola's face because it was like, this man, it's not, are you understanding what you are saying like this? It's like you're not getting the point.
Why are you people trying to put me
no,
on the spot?
it's what your face told me.
Love? No, I believe in love. Is that what you're trying to say? Like I said earlier, I believe that marriage is a beautiful institution once you are with the right person. Love is beautiful, but with what Engineer Falabi said, I don't think it's enough. There are other things, there are other components that need to match that love. So it might not be materialism, but then there's a need to be sufficient in that marriage, for...
Can you hold the thought? We have a caller on the line. Shuaibu calling from Kefi, Nasarawa State. Good morning, welcome to the show. Just go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I think on this issue, the major challenge we have as individuals is the fact that when individuals want to go into marriage, they don't look at marriage from the concept of the fact that you can't give what you don't have. So that being said, before you go into marriage, you should be able to look at yourself, how best you want to make yourself good for yourself. Because you should be able to tell yourself, imagine if I'm married to my own self. Can I be able to accept myself for who I am? Now, if you know very well that you're good enough for yourself, the next thing is, how do I get somebody that will cherish, appreciate, and value me for who I am? And on that basis, you will do away with other sentiment that has to do with basis in which people get into marriage. And in marriage, you should be intentional about what you want. A lot of persons have married because of peer pressures, because of family pressures, and the rest. And on that basis, they don't really look at what I want. But this is what my family wants. This is what makes people happy. I want an elaborate marriage. Instead of looking at for peace and for joy and
Is there anything wrong with having an elaborate marriage?
No, there's nothing wrong with having an elaborate marriage.
Right.
But, in terms of life, elaborate marriage, or in quotes, the marriage that gathers crowd, doesn't entail success.
Yes.
You can have people who doesn't have the money.
Don't you think?
Yes, it's a perception per se, but we've seen situations where a lot of persons. Okay, let me draw up a scenario. I had a friend who works in the bank, earns good salary. When she was to marry, she collected leave, went on her leave, and after 1 month of her leave, she resumed back at work with a wedding ring. And her colleagues were like, when did you marry? How did you do this and all that? And she said, marriage, I'm not looking for crowd. I was looking for peace. I've done my marriage. And today she's enjoying her home.
Okay.
Well,
so we should be intentional about what we want and intentional about the fact that we want peace in our home. And when we have all that, definitely marriage will be great for us. Now, on the issues on ground at the moment, I think when we have domestic violence, we have emotional blackmail by partners to their spouse, we discover that these women are managing these situations. And sorry to say, it's not just on the part of the women. Some men too suffer same, but nobody wants to come out to talk. Because the first point of help is for you to voice out so that individuals can know what you're going through. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they see how best they can come in with help. But a lot of persons, because of the stigma, because of what people will say and all that, nobody's coming out to talk. I was discussing just yesterday, we were having the same discussion on these issues, and a neighbor now told me, a lot of couples you see out there in the public space, they smile, they laugh and all that. When you go into their homes, they are crying because nobody comes out to talk. So every individual should look at this fact that before I love you, I should love myself more. to have peace, to give myself joy, to be sure that I'm in this because I love this. Not because I'm in this because I'm trying to manage, because I'm trying to keep up appearance to the public, to people. That's why people are dying every day of depression. God will help us in this country.
Amen. Thank you, Shuaibu, for your contribution. Self-love, very important. And the fact that you must understand yourself, what you have to offer. Absolutely. And another aspect is understanding what love is. Love means different things to different people. And then what kind of conversation do you have with this person you want to get married to? Some persons do not have difficult conversations. How do we want to run our marriage? What do you think marriage is about in the first place? Why are you getting married? Exactly. What then do you want us to achieve with this marriage? Then you can begin to understand the person's perspective about life and marriage on the whole. I see that some people refuse to have difficult conversation. Tell yourself the truth. You read the person, not just what the person is saying, but the reaction and action of that person. If you have stayed with this person for a year or 6 months and do not know the person, then something is wrong with your perception of things, your judgment. You do not even understand what you want as a person, because we know that, yes, a lot of people, society has pressured them into getting married. Most people do not want to get married.
Totally.
They don't want to get committed. But because society says, at this stage of your life, you have to get married. They are not ready psychologically, mentally. They are not ready. And so they just jump into these things, unfortunately, for most people. And then the aspect of love. Love is sacrifice. And out of it is expressed in kindness, in peace, in patience, long-suffering, whatever it is. That is how I see love. If you don't have love, you can't be kind. That's the truth.
Yes. The previous caller, Engineer Afolabi, said that he was 25, his wife was 23, and, they were just looking for love, right? That's very valid. At some age, at a tender age, you don't really have much expectations. But if you're in your 30s and in your 40s, what you're looking for is not just love. You're looking at the stability of this man. How financially okay is it? So most times when we see older people, older single ladies or men that are not yet married, and we're like, this person loves you, there are more things that they are looking out for beyond that, I love you.
Can you hold your thoughts?
Yes, please.
We have Ayodele calling from Agbado.
Our holding thought.
But we have to take our callers' thoughts as well. Ayodele, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set? It's interfering with...
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, as regard what you are actually talking about.
Yeah.
My own contribution is, as far as marriage is regarded, as marriage, can you hear me?
Please speak up a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As marriage is regarded, marriage is an institution created by God. But the only thing is that is the motive that behind every marriage. The motive. I said the motive that.
You need to turn down the volume of your TV set because it seems you are interested in hearing yourself. There's a feedback, and that is intruding the conversation. So you can call us back, but that time you have to turn down the volume of your TV set. Toby, you were saying something.
Yes, so I was wrapping up with that thought. I was
from Engineer, yes.
But the second thing I was also going to say that these days marriage counseling is underrated. We sometimes think that it's a big deal. That when you say go for marriage counseling, it seems like, I know this guy, there's nothing there, right? Because it is in that marriage counseling you find out conversations like this. I'm not sure if the Muslims have something called marriage counseling. Tokwe, do you know? You don't? Yeah.
I think it's an individual thing.
For
it's not about religion.
But in Christianity, it's almost like a compulsory church to get you married. They must go through counseling.
So that was the other thing I was going to highlight also.
Right, Tokwe, yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about social media blogs, social media bloggers, social media trolls, social media commentators, those that live their life off pulling other people down. those who build their career and their social media career from gossiping, those people, we need to beg them. It's not everybody that has the strength to handle your trolling, your comments, and your negative feedback. Some people are not strong enough. It breaks them.
We'll expand on that, yes. We have Ayodeji from Igondo. Ayodeji, good morning. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my own contribution is, you see, what I observed from the woman was the fact that, in most of this, when you have done marriages like 2-3 times, I've seen a situation whereby people will be saying, whether it's the one using the husband or that's why they are living or something like that. Then at the end of the day, the pressure will step into the woman. At the end of the day, she will be taking anything that comes, no matter how the man may be, because she doesn't want people to talk. We must know one fact that we must not marry because of what people are saying. If you rely on what people are saying, you end up having different marriages at every interval. People are saying that, hey, because you are marrying this person, and the marriage break up, Yoruba will say, no, you will not see a man going to commit suicide. But you will see a woman going to commit suicide. Why?
No, there are men that have committed suicide. There are men that have committed
suicide. It is not as common as what we are seeing in terms of women. And it's because women are always they're always concerned about what the people are saying. Marriage is not about what people are saying. Are you ready for it? Is the man you are talking about also ready for it? Let's not look at the outside world of what they are talking about. Let us look at ourselves. Peace. When you are married because of what people are saying, you continue to encounter problems. We are seeing people without a husband, yes, they live happily. But by the time you say, because people are saying, I don't have an husband with me in my house, I must surely have one. I must surely have one. Because they will be canceling for me. Then you start having that problem. Because marriage is not about what people say. It's about your own peace at home. Because you can see now, from what you have gotten, the woman is not saying she's sorry for what she has done. Right. That means she now discovered that there are certain things she has done that she's not looking at it as, is it right?
Right. Okay. Ayodeji, thank you so much for that contribution.
Yeah. So I was speaking about the importance of having a bit of thought to what we're saying, especially because we have created an industry, social media bloggers, gossip bloggers, and this is an industry that does not understand the impact of what they're doing. We took a story this week, I think Monday or Tuesday, Mariam in the papers, about some two Nigerian boys that are being extradited to America. And they got a picture, and a boy threatened to commit suicide, and they said he should quickly do it, and he did it. So when we sit behind our phones and we feel like we have anonymity and we spew hate against another human being, thinking like we have freedom, but you don't know if that person, after reading your comments, will kill himself or kill herself. And that blood is on your life, it's in your hands. I'm appealing that we need to have more government restriction on just allowing everybody come online and say whatever they want to say. And also appealing for the human beings that are typing that be a little bit more, like, just try. Find a bit of kindness in your heart. When you are typing whatever you want to type, to understand that there's a human being on the receiving end of that comment. We on TV, we get it. Then people just come and they would insult you, insult your father, insult your children.
Just like that.
You get live. I don't even know where I did. Like, you don't know what I'm going through.
Aside that, if they wear your shoes, they don't even know how they will react.